Sometimes it's nice to just hop on a tram and go for a ride through the city. But if you're in a hurry and the city is made up of a bunch of islands, getting to your destination could mean taking a massive detour. Enter the water bus. Now my citizens can hop across the bay, speeding up their commute and keeping the city in motion. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to Return to Cities in Motion 2, here on, you guessed it, Cities in Motion 2. Between episodes, I have basically done nothing, although that's not strictly true. One of the things I have done is fix the trams. I think it was just a pathfinding glitch. I do remember something like that happening before, where basically it was just these two stops. It couldn't form the connection between them. And actually what I had to do was completely delete the line and redo it. I think if I'd added like a waypoint or something and routed to it and away from it, it may have fixed itself. But I wasn't taking any chances. So yeah, I did all of that. The other thing I did while I was doing that was down here. I just reconfigured this slightly to make it work a little bit better. I love watching these buses route round. So cool. Really enjoy that. Yeah, sorry. I rejigged this. And what I did was I added a second tram stop, which may come in useful later on. Mainly because we've got this line that runs up this way. But I was considering having something that comes this way as well, up this island. And then joining back in here. And then, where was it? I had a whole plan in action. And I can't remember for the life of me now what it was. It was a good one, though. I promise you. It was a good one. I think it was something to do with utilising another avenue. Maybe this one. So, like, diverting and running straight down here instead. Because that brings us all the way down to this southern tip. Which, if you remember from before, is where this line terminates. We could do something similar. Maybe have it run this way around. I don't know. I'm speculating right now. But it adds another connection, and it adds a connection to the bus, and it actually connects a little bit to our little bus hub thing, which was around, I think it was up here, wasn't it? Yeah, where all of our bus lines currently run through. All but one, actually. Does this one run through? Yeah, this one does, because it, yeah, okay. Can you tell it's been a while? It's actually been like 2 weeks since I touched the game, which is interesting. Also, I fixed the resolution. Watching back the first episode, it wasn't terrible, but I feel like it could have been better. So I've reverted it to 1080, which is what I record in. Hopefully, it looks better. I must admit, on my preview, it looks a bit crap. So I'm hoping it does look better for you guys. Otherwise, oh dear. What are we doing today then? Well, I want to get more connections because we're starting to make money now. We're actually making quite a lot of money. I want to start capitalizing on that, taking advantage of that and turning it into even more lucrative earnings. So one thing I'm tempted to do is to set up some water buses, which you'll know what we've done by now because it'll be in the intro for the video. But at this point, I have no idea whether or not I stick to water buses or not. But I do want to introduce some and connect up key parts of the city. So for example, a water bus line from here, where it connects with the tram, over to here, where there may be another tram. One thing I was considering as well is monorail. And I think I mentioned in my community post recently connecting a monorail line up along here. That's definitely an option. This area here can all be served by a single bus line with perhaps a monorail station connected to it. We can also put a monorail depot over here and then just run it along, possibly through the center of all of this stuff. Through the park, it does seem like a bit of a waste. It's quite nice parkland here. But I feel like it would be a good idea. Or we somehow get it onto the center of the freeway here. It's not a terrible idea, actually. Although that could be good for metro. Swing a metro line through there. Excuse me. But yeah, I want to get these water buses connected up. I want one over here as well, connected to the tram here. And I definitely want one connected up to this. And I think this one here is going to be my first connection, because I have actually checked already where this could go. And I decided that I've got to remember how to do this now. There we go. I decided that somewhere like here would be a really good spot for this. It covers absolutely everything. So I'm going to build it. Now obviously we need somewhere for this to run to. And I was tempted. Somewhere up here would be a good spot for something as well. Yeah, I'm trying to pick carefully. It's one other thing to talk about. Someone commented on one of my posts a while ago. Like a couple of months ago now, when I was asking for ideas for games to play. And they said Cities in Motion. The original Cities in Motion. Which I was actually really tempted by. I so nearly did it. And then I went and played the original Cities in Motion again. I actually re-downloaded it, fired it up and tried it. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. It's kind of like, you know when you watch like your favourite TV show and you get to the end of it, and then you go back and watch series 1 again and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that, you know, this person's not married yet, this person hasn't done this yet. And it really did feel a bit like that. I was like, oh yeah, I can't build roads like I'm doing here. So I was like, I can't build roads. I can't build neighbourhoods. The way trams work is really dumb. And it was just incredibly frustrating. And the game still holds up fairly well, actually. I did enjoy it, but it was frustrating. How the heck did I get this first one to look so even? I think I'm just going to have to do that. Oh my god, that looks horrendous. And then... not enough space. Is it because of this, maybe? Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, it was because of that. Okay. So now I can do this. Sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I try and talk and build and it becomes very evident that I can do neither. Yeah, so now I'm going to take... oh no, I can't. No, I can't. Forget that. I didn't say anything. I am going to upgrade you though. There we are. I'm going to put another one there. And then I'm going to put another one there. And I'm going to put another one there. Yeah. And technically we can put 2 here as well. Big bus hub. Sorry. The original Cities in Motion. That's what I was trying to talk about. Oh my god, I'm so all over the place. What a start to the episode. It was fun to play, but I think it would be an incredibly frustrating series to watch. So I'm going to say no to that one for now. This is kind of the compromise, is playing this game. And I love this game. It's a fun game. So it's not a compromise in the strictest sense, because there's still a lot of enjoyment to be had. But yeah. Anyway, stop talking gibberish, Mark. So we're going to put a water bus stop where I've just put that first one. And I am going to put one somewhere near here. If I could squeeze it there, actually, that could work. And that's not a terrible first route. It kind of does what the bus does, but it does it a little bit quicker. And then we can have another bus, water bus stop on this side, because I think it will connect. Oh, do you know what? It actually doesn't. So I might have to bring it down. Can I really only move these in like 45-degree angles? Well, that's annoying. So I'm actually going to pop you there. And then I'm going to pop you here. There you go. Now you connect. Good. And from here, we actually have a few options. One of which is all the way over here, which I'm definitely going to add. Because then you can have buses on this street here. You could, in theory, have metro running underneath as well. This is quite a built-up area, so there's definitely potential for that. And we're going to just, yeah. So I think these 2 lines could actually be quite valuable. Let's get a depot. And again, I like the idea of having all my depots sort of down this area. Kind of near each other. Like this. Right. Let's do that. You are... Let's call you the sunrise line. Whoops. There we are. And then for the timetable, I guess again we can just copy you from the cobalt line. One thing I have realised actually is all my buses start at the exact same time. In fact, all my lines right now start at the exact same time, which does seem a little stupid, but it's what I've done. So we're going to stick with it. Just for now, at least. There we go. And you, let me just quickly look up. Shades of yellow. Actually, gold and amber are good names. So not sunrise. You're going to be... For Christ's sake. You're going to be the gold line. And you are going to be the amber line. There we go. Copy. 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 And copy. So I only need 2 on each line. So if I get 5, that should be more than enough. What should we have? If we organise by capacity, 96 seats. I mean, we could start with 96 and work up, can't we? That's fine. And there we are. We have some water buses. Now, I'm really hoping that these do actually start to see some passengers using them. Because it is a good way of getting across from one place to another. I was just looking at this island earlier as well, because we do have this nice central bus line, but as you can see, there are lots of areas here that are unconnected. So I was debating what to do. There is possibility of having just a mini tram that goes around, but I don't want it to be a loop. That's the thing. Well, actually, a loop's not the worst thing with this. I kind of want maybe just a loop bus that goes around the island. Because we have this stop here as a starting point, and then we can go from there. And maybe just have a loop in each direction. And then have it at some point, which I guess it does here. Excuse me, connect up to the bus in both directions here. Yeah. As to why I keep clearing my throat, by the way, this is my 2nd episode of the day I'm recording, and it's my 3rd of the week. So I'm already, like, overdoing my voice a little bit, and I'm recovered from my cold now, which I think I mentioned last time, but I have got the hay fever train has hit me. So I'm struggling a little bit with that now. If it doesn't rain, it pours in the world of M4J. Excuse me. So I'm going to be rasping and like you wouldn't believe by the end of this. Yeah, I like the idea of this loop bus, actually. I'm going to have to look up more shades of blue, mind, for it to work. But that's a very small price to pay, I would say. And I'm just going to squeeze one here. I think this is going to be my start and end point for both of these. Like so. And then we'll build one in the other direction, of course. And then somewhere around all of this, I am going to set up another water bus stop, which I think might be on the northern tip here. We'll see about that. Because in the past, I've kind of used water buses. I mean, are we calling them water buses? Ferries is probably the better word for it. I don't know what they're called on here. No, water bus. They are water buses. I've kind of used them as like, you know, you go from this island and there'll be a stop here, then over here, then back to this stop and then back again. But I kind of like the idea of just doing point to point. So like from here, we could go straight up here and connect with the trams. Although I'm tempted to do it from here because the cobalt line also comes through here. That kind of idea. And then we could, in theory, from here, also get across to here. And then you can go point to point to point. You will have to change, but it's not the end of the world having to do that. So it's not a bad idea. We'll see. Right, I need to get these lines up and running as well. So I just need to change shades of yellow to shades of blue. Now what I think I'm going to do here is just use one name. Teal isn't a bad idea. We could call this Teal Island. And then we'll have teal clockwise, which is that way, and then teal anti-clockwise, which is that way. That's not a bad idea. So let's do this, and then this. And then I said it was this one, didn't I? So let's do clockwise first. There's another throat clear. Sorry, everybody. I'm sure you don't mind too much, but yeah. I've had so many people complain over the years about I and ah too much. There's one. I clear my throat too much, and just really stupid things that shouldn't matter. But it does get to you after a while when people keep saying the same things. Right. This, I'm tempted to copy from this, but maybe increase the frequency slightly. So, for example, weekday, I think we could do hourly. And then the rushes, we could do half hourly. And then weekends can also be hourly. And then at night, 2 hourly. I like that idea. So you are teal line plus, because you go clockwise. And then we're going to set up the opposite side and run via that over to this one. And obviously you're going to fill the gap in the other way. Now I was worried because I just saw the water bus had nobody on it, and then I looked at the time in the bottom corner. If it is pixelated for you guys, obviously let me know in the comments if things aren't right there, and I'll get that fixed. The next 2 episodes excuse me, the next 2 episodes will have rubbish resolution though, if this one does, unfortunately. But I'll just do that quickly. It is coming up to midnight, so that would explain why things are as they are. Right, and you're going to be copying from the teal line as well. And there we go. So we need 5 vehicles, and 5 actually seems a lot still for this. There seems to be 2 coming out at the same time, which is weird. So yeah, it's midnight on a Monday. So when this picks up for rush hour, that's when we're going to start seeing... In fact, look, there are 2 people there, and there is actually 1 person there. So that's actually okay. And right now it's night time, so they're only running, I think it's hourly. So I'm not too bothered about that. So now we've got all that running. We've got the water buses running. We've got the 2 new bus lines running. This island is now 100% connected. If I was to open this again, you can see every single building is covered, which is awesome. Although, I say that, there's a little gap there. Of course there is. We'll build a metro station there or something, that's fine. I want to have a look at this second tram line that I was talking about. The one that runs along this section. So let me just quickly... I was to do that. And then I was to do that. So you are now connected. And then from here, we can go like this. Along here like this. Now I've got to find where this is actually going to run to. But on this island at least, it's going to do this. Once we cross the river, I guess we could follow this still, or we could deviate this way. Because I did like the idea, which actually we would follow this for still. So after this stop, we would turn south and run down this road. And actually, the more I think about it, the more I like that idea. A lot. So I am going to, here, build a little connection. I guess like this. I'm just thinking, I don't want it to be in the same spot as this one. I do want it to be somewhere slightly different. But I do need it to connect up to all of this. So what I should have done... I might have to do some rejigging here. Let me just check something quickly. Because I believe there is a way of doing this. Ah. Okay, maybe this is how it works. Okay. I'm going to just do what Google's AI here has said. This is on the search results, so it might not be 100% accurate. But if I was to do that, and if I was to do that, I then want to bring... Actually, I'm also going to have to do a little bit of editing here as well. So I want to split this in half. Just got to remember how to do this. Get a nice curve like this. There we go. And then I want to bring this down. Actually, hang on, sorry. Oh, I'm all over the place. Remove that node. See, some of this is coming back to me quite quickly, actually. It's like second nature. There we go. And then I want to do that. Little curve, and then bring it straight again. There we go. That's what I want to do. So from here, I want to build this like this. I then want to grab this, connect you there. And then want to grab you and connect you there. But also here, I want to build you straight across and connect you to there and you to there. Now I think that's everything connected how I want it to be, although I kind of want you to do that as well, for reasons that will become clear momentarily. Pop you there, pop you there. Now what route was this? The maroon line. So I need to insert a stop there. Yeah, I think that's actually done it. So you are... Stop 39. There we are. And then you are stop 27. And then you are stop 40. Yep. Sweet. That's actually very cool. That's very cool. And then if I grab the bus stop again. Again, I kind of want it to connect up to the water buses and the tram. So I'm tempted to put it down here. And I'm guessing you were on the Sapphire line. So if I was to now do that... No. You haven't connected properly. What stop number are you? 65. Where the heck have you put 65 in? Right at the top there. Yeah, no, that's not right. So I need you to go in after 64, which is here. You're not having it, are you? So you are the one that starts over here. I might have to redo this one from scratch. Which is a little bit frustrating, but never mind. So, which one of these should we use? Let's use this one. I think that works best in the grand scheme of things. And then up here, oops, up here. Then you cross over here, don't you? I believe. And then, is it that one? Or do you go this way first? I actually can't remember. I think it was this way. And then somewhere, don't you switch across to this side? And then you run straight down. And then here, you run through this area. And then, yeah, you run down this way. And then there. Then there. Maybe it was the nature of the road here that made it mess up slightly. That's a possibility. And then you do this. And then here you cross over. And then you cross over the river. And then you run back down this way. I think this is what you did. If not, this is what you do now. Because obviously I've just goofed it. And then after this, you run back to the depot. Yeah, so this is your new route, which I'm hoping is correct. So now I need to get this tram route set up. Now, I guess what I could do, if it will let me. I'm seeing, yeah, oh wow, you have a lot of people waiting. Even at this time of night, you have a lot of people waiting. That's good. So this bit's easy. Let me just do this bit. This bit's very easy. It's literally just this the whole way up. This is going to be a very busy route. I can already see it. Like so, and like so. Alongside the edge of the park here, which is going to be nice. And then keep going this way. Right, and then when we get to here, I'm actually tempted to swap out this road with just a tram, like a path basically. So do this. And just have you be like that. As for the bus, what we would do is bring it around. So if we put you there, and then you, I guess, here. And then on this side, we would put you there, and then one here. If I was to now grab this lapis line, open this. See, now you've messed up. Ay, ay, ay. Hang on. It's not quite doing it as described. It says the game would work out what goes chronologically where. I don't think it's doing that. Not quite how I want it to, anyway. Where's the line to there gone? No idea. It's just disappeared. Oops. Literally just put it in. Forgot to use it. There we go. All the way down like so. And then obviously there and there. I think it was here and here. Right. And then back up again. Again, if it wasn't before, it is now. I don't think there's a stop here that's not served. No, doesn't appear to be. There, there, and there. Like that. And then, of course, back to the depot. So I think that's going to work. A bit of luck. Okie dokie. Now, after that, I don't really want to mess around with this too much. So I think what I might do... This here, I'm going to replace with this. And then, if I run through the middle like that, can I then do that? Yes. Here's a bit of a transition here, though. It's not terrible. Whatever happens here, I need to be in the middle, because I then need to curve onto that, which actually does look bloody awful. Let's just see if I can do something to open this angle up a little bit. There we go. Much better. So, we're obviously going to have a stop here. Does this connect up to at least one of the bus stops? Yes. If I do it at this end, it actually connects to... Actually, if I do it cleverly, here, I think it connects to both. And then we're going to have one here. Skip that one. One here. Skip that one. One here. And then here it gets a little bit messy. So I think if I have one here, that actually connects up very nicely to our bus hub. And there is a bit of an overlap, but not a massive one. We could perhaps move it down a little bit. Doesn't connect to both though if I do that, whereas here it definitely does. And we could say that that's the last stop before the end. There is a bit of... Actually, no, it's about right. And I'm fine with this. Okay, I just think we're maybe missing one here, but then that's about the same distance. Excuse me. There goes the throat again. Okay. So now let's connect this side up. So I think one here and here. I think over here. Again, there is a gap there. That's absolutely fine. One here. And then this might be the last one. Yeah. Alright. 3 stops on this island compared to the 2 there. That's fine. This then follows as you'd expect. And then there's basically one-ish level with each one. And then we just have the extra one here, which is kind of level with that one. I think that'll do, you know. I think that will do. So let's swap shades of blue now to shades of red. Cherry. Not a bad one. Or apple. Apple I think of as being more green than red. So maybe we'll go with... Maybe we'll go with cherry. Oh, I need a depot first. Yeah, I need to build a new depot for this one actually because of the way this is going to work. Where is a good place for a depot? Somewhere over here where there's nothing really nearby. Or, I mean, we could do it from here, but it's going to use up so much reliability just getting to the start point. And it's a long way to go, and it might get caught up behind other vehicles and stuff. So, could I squeeze one here? I don't think it even has to be a big one. It could be quite a small one. Or, I mean, if there is room down here, which there almost certainly is not. I mean, there's that. And it's right near the hub. Or there's that, which is right near the hub. Kind of like it here. Like that. Because it's only really going to be used for this line. So let's do that. So you're going to come out like this, and then up this way. I don't actually know what vehicles I'm going to use on this yet. So we'll find that out together as well. I'm almost tempted to use the single unit one, which I can't remember the name of. Oh, where do I turn south? It's here, isn't it? Yeah. Like that, and then like that. This one. This one. So yeah, this line technically connects the other two tram lines together, which is why I think it's a clever one to build. Just adds that extra connection point, and it looks like the water buses are actually going to be quite well used as well. I just saw people waiting there. The other kind of cheaty thing you can do, if you feel like people aren't using your lines, is you can build landmarks by them. So that hub there, for example, if I feel like enough people aren't using the water buses, I can pop down a landmark there, and then suddenly that's a viable place for people to go, tourists especially, and they will start using it. Alright, let's get this finished, then we'll get this timetabled. Then we'll get it named. So we are looking at the, I think, cherry line. It's a shade of red. It's a pretty sounding name. It'll do. Lovely. So yeah, let's have a look at these. So I think it was this, the Scandi tram, that I was going to look at. Oh, how many do I need? 10. So if I get 15 of these, I think these are the single car units. I need one to dispatch so I can actually see it for myself. Here we go. Yeah. This will do for now. We will upgrade if necessary. That looked horrendous going around that corner, but the game is the game. There's not a lot we can do about that. With this now in place, how are we doing for time? This might do it for this episode, actually. Might do it for this episode. Oh, there go the water buses again. Yeah, they are getting used. They are getting used. And this is at 1 o'clock in the morning, so you can imagine during rush hour, this could be quite popular. And what I meant by the landmarks is if you go here and landmarks. So we could, for example, build the gherkin here, and then loads of tourists will come and it will look really cool. That's a little trick you can do. I don't think it's going to be one that we're particularly going to utilize today, but the option is there if we so wanted. Nice. I feel like I put this the wrong way round, but I guess we've got the nice little overlap here, so it's all good. Yeah, this tram is now going to head off in this direction. That looks a lot better, going around that corner. And I am going to start wrapping up this episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the episode, and of course, if you're enjoying the series. And if you hit the like button and the hype option comes up, then please do click it. It helps out a lot. Helps get eyes on the channel, gets eyes on the content, helps everything grow, and I'll love you forever. I also just want to quickly say thank you for the reception to the first episode of this series. I think at the time of recording, it has just shy of 200 views, which is awesome, actually, for a brand new series on the channel, for a game that has been out for I think I looked this up as well. It came out in 2013 or 2014. So we're talking about a 12-year-old game, and there's still people out there who are interested in it. And it does hold up really, really nicely. I wasn't really exaggerating when I said this is still one of the best transport management games made. I know you've got OpenTTD and things like that, but this is a solid title for what it is. The fact that you can do ticket pricing and depots and things like that, stuff that OpenTTD just doesn't offer. So this holds up very, very nicely. And I'm still a big, big fan of it. And it seems you guys are too. So yeah. Did I mention subscribing? Commenting, that was the next thing. Comment ideas down below with ideas for future episodes. There we go. Every time I fall out of my patter, I just forget how to speak. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. We've got this for the entirety of June, possibly even bleeding into July as well. So if you want to see more of this, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. And if you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Again, really helps me out. Very much appreciated. You're all awesome. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.